The other thing that is fascinating to me is if you look at these power struggles in merger situations. Like, I've been following this AT&T, AOL, Warner, Discovery, let's get together. No, let's not get together. And like all the executives at one company get fired. And it's just like, I mean, you can only imagine the conversations behind the scene, but it's very much looking like, eliminate your opponents, support your supporters, and move quickly. I think this was another thing I found really interesting that you point out in the Using Your Power chapter, which is you don't have a lot of time. Like when you first get into one of those roles, because in the beginning, nobody quite knows what your agenda or intentions are. But if you've been there long enough time, that eventually the coalitions who don't want you to succeed can pull themselves together. And I had not thought about it in that way. Like, I mean, people always talk about the first 90 days, that kind of thing. But I hadn't thought about it in terms of its power dynamics.
But it's also momentum. I mean, so if you come into an organization and are able to get things done reasonably quickly, and there's a sense that your agenda is going to become successful, then people get behind you. But on the contrary, if you aren't able to accomplish very much early on, then the people will say, well, you're not going to go anywhere and you're not going to last very long, and then they won't get behind you. That's so the flywheel effect, or the self-fulfilling prophecy, is a real phenomenon, and using your power permits you to take advantage of that in a positive way, and not using your power and therefore not being very effective or successful is the opposite. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy in which it's going to be very hard for you to get back on track.